Hello and welcome back to Modeling Manhood. I'm going to share with you guys kind of a sad story to get started today and use it to illustrate a biblical point with you guys by the time we're done today. So as a child, I had a dog. It was our farm dog named Trigger. He was a collie dog, and he was everywhere. I did everything with him. Imagine a little boy with a dog. And I have a picture someplace of me and standing in front of the farm with my dog. And it wasn't shortly after that he started acting a little different. And he was biting the calves. And I can remember my dad telling me he was going to have to put him down because something had changed in his personality. And that was like my first realization of death as a kid growing up. Having my dog have to be put down because what he was doing wasn't appropriate for a way a dog should be acting. And as a farm, my parents depended on the livelihood of the cattle to pay the bills and grow up, especially the younger ones, to be the next generation of milking cows at the farm. And whenever I see that picture, I think of good times with him and remember that something had to be done, as hard as it was. And probably in my teenage years, I started thinking about love because my hormones are going and everything else, and you finally realize the opposite sex and you're attracted to them and different things. And I said, love is action. And I would tell my mom and dad that love is action. And that day when my dad had to put that situation in front of me to put down Trigger on my dog, he was doing that out of love. Because I bet you in his mind he was probably wondering, what is he going to bite next? Is he going to bite me or bite my little sisters or something like that? But love is action, and sometimes we don't understand the consequences that are made out of love. And for the biblical side of that, I just want you guys to be thinking about God who sent his son Jesus, and out of love went to the cross and died for you and for me and for every person that's walked the face of this earth. We're going to look at 1 John chapter 3, starting in verse 16. But this we know, love, that he laid down his life for us, that we ought to lay down our lives for our brothers. But if anyone has the world's good and sees his brother in need, yet closes his heart against him, how does God's love abide in him? Little children, let us not love in word or talk, but in deed and in truth. And there's so much packed in that little section of scriptures, and I would just encourage you guys. It starts that he laid down his life for us. He laid down his life for you and for me. We talked about that. But do we accept that gift of his son on the cross? Or is it just another thing that happened in history and we go on with our day living the same? That's something we need to realize each and every day. And closes, little children, let us not love in word. You guys have all heard of lip service, where we just talk and say, oh, I love you, how you doing? But do we really know that other person's heart or what their condition is? Do we care enough when they say it's not going good to say, hey, let's catch up, let's spend some time together, let's commune, let's develop a relationship, let's help each other through this? Because maybe this week you need help, but a month from now or a year from now, it's going to be reciprocated. And that's iron sharpening iron and us building each other up. So that is love in action. Sometimes love is hard. The Bible verses here says, not in word or talk, but in deed. And that is action, doing something, fulfilling something out of nothing. It's easy to say, my father-in-law will say, your walk talks, but your talk.
Your walk talks and your talk talks, but your walk talks a lot louder than your talk talks.
And that is love in action. That's just not saying things, but actually doing something. More is caught than is taught sometimes, and that's action too. Thank you guys for listening in on today. And if you guys have ever experienced loss and you don't understand what I'm talking about, consider yourself fortunate, but we've all had losses that we've had to deal with. And I would just want to encourage you guys to go to the one that loves you and created you, and get to know his plan for your life. He is putting things into action. These aren't just words, these are words that will change your life. This book is full of action towards his love towards us. And I'm so glad that I have this word to look at, and so glad that you have the opportunity to read it too. Thank you guys for joining us here for the month of September. We will be picking up soon in October, and excited to bring you guys some new stories about my life, but more importantly, just the Word of God, because it is active and sharper than any two-edged sword. Thank you for joining us here at Modeling Manhood. Remember to mirror your Maker and journey with Jesus.